Okay, hello everyone. Tell me if you can hear me first of all. Find the chat and say hi and tell me if you can hear me. Hi, nice to see you. Be with Karen, Margaret, Luciana. Nice to see you. Nice to see you. Rodolph, hi. And Bill, hello. So I have not been with you on the Advanced Relationship and Family Academy for quite a while. I've been overseas in Toronto so quite a while. Good morning, Curtis. Nice to see you. Okay, so if you are new, first of all, please find the chat. Yes, hi, Brian. Clear sound, excellent. Hi, Avery. Excellent. Shmuel, hi. You cannot hear me, Kamal. So everyone else, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yes, yes, can hear you. Excellent. And how is the quality? Perfect, clear, excellent. Okay, so Karen, can you write to Kamal and tell him that probably the problem is on his side? Okay. Okay, so we are talking about the relationship snake. Is there anyone on the call that don't know what I'm talking about when I say relationship snake? Like you have no idea what it is? So everyone knows about it. Okay, excellent. So I don't need to explain. Okay, so we're talking about the relationship snake. I'm going to continue with this topic, but before, let's start with some agreements. Whoops, agreements. No recording, please. Nothing I said today is true, of course, unless it is super true for you. The seminar has been designed to bring about a shift in viewpoint from effect to cause, from slow, unnoticeable decline to a powerful, never-ending climb. But the key to getting those results is participation. You really need to participate. If you will participate, you'll get much, much more out of the lesson. Number one, because you inhale and exhale data. And number two is because the more you communicate with me, the more I can answer and give you other viewpoints on what you are saying. And hi, Kiko. So it's really important to participate. Actually, the participation is so unbelievably important. We just had 7-day seminar in Toronto, and I've done an IQ and duplication test before we started, like at the first day and at the end of the seminar. And I can tell you that the improvement in IQ is just unbelievable, and duplication, IQ, duplication, and personality is unbelievable. But how much the person improved was totally related to how much he participated in the seminar. Are you with me? So if you are participating, you get improvements. If you don't get improvement. And this is totally proven now by this small experiment that I've done, that you take the people, I actually count how many times they participated, and I can actually predict how much they will improve in terms of IQ and duplication. It is really, really, really unbelievable, but not really, because if you think about yourself at school, you see that in subject that you did not participate, you didn't improve. Imagine someone playing a basketball but not really participating. He's just standing on the court. He will not improve. Yes, he will actually he will deteriorate. The same thing apply here. If you don't participate, you will deteriorate. If you don't participate in life, you will deteriorate. So you really need to participate. If you don't participate with each and every question I ask, you will not have the shift in viewpoint. But if you do, my friend, you'll discover just how powerful you are, and it is nothing you've ever imagined. Most people think that once they will understand, they will participate. The truth is that once you participate, you understand. It's just unbelievable. It's not that you need to understand and then participate. You need to participate, and then and only then you will participate. It's really amazing. If you're not in communication, if you just inhale information, you will suffocate. Okay. When the snake tells you that you're being exploited, he or she tries to convince you to give less. If someone comes to you and say, look, you're a sucker, everyone using you, you give too much, you're too good, you're too soft, you're too nice. All those things are actually just an invitation to make you smaller. Because how big you are, as much as you give. Who do you think give more? Bill Gates or a beggar in the street? Yes. Thank you, Kiko. It's really amazing. Bill Gates gives more. So when someone convinces you not to give, he basically tells you, have less. Because even if you have something, but you don't give it, you don't actually have it. You have something only once you use it. Are you with me? It applies to love. Imagine you have a lot of love, but no one to give it to. You don't give it because someone told you that if you give love, someone can use it against you. You have been exploited. Are you with me? Yeah, yes, exactly, Teresa. Long time no see. Shoulders. What does it mean, exploited? Okay, so we explained that thing in the last lesson, but exploited basically mean that you are being used. Okay? It is really unbelievable that when someone convinces you not to give, when someone tells you that you are too good, which means he asks you to become bad, when someone tell you that you're too soft, which means that he asks you to be rough, when someone tell you that people cheat you, what does he mean? He says that you're stupid. He convinces you that you must be afraid instead of being brave. If they want to cheat me, good luck. I have so much. How much they can cheat me out? Actually, anyone that try to that tell you, look, you need to be careful. You are being exploited. What he actually tried to tell you is become small. It is just unbelievable. He is not your friend. Your only friend is a person that tell you, dare more, be afraid less, be more cause, be more source, be more powerful. Nothing can help you, nothing can hurt you. And the maximum that will happen is that you die and you get 3 bodies in the next lifetime. They don't even charge you. Unless if you hit a Jewish person that sells the body, then it's a different story. If you want to become Jewish, they charge you for the bodies. Are you with me? It's like not a problem. Nothing can happen to you. Only those people that really tell you who you really are, you're a spiritual being that create everything around you, and nothing is dangerous to you. There's things that dangerous to your car, things that dangerous to your body, things that dangerous to your shoes, but not to you. Nothing can hurt you. So the snake tells you you are too good. The snake tells you your heart is too soft. When they're telling you are too good, they're telling you is become bad. When someone tell you are too soft, they're telling you become rough. You are too generous, which means they tell you you need to consider that you don't have, so you will not give a lot, because only people that have a lot of love can give a lot of love. So in order for you not to give the love, you have to make sure you don't have the love. It's really, if I look at let me just handle that for a second. Just taking out my weapon. Here we go. Let me see. Here is my weapon. Choo. Come on. Weapon. Here we go. So basically, imagine that this is you, and you have a lot of something. If you have a lot of something, it's flowing out. It's overflowing. Yes, you have a lot, so it's overflowing. In order for you not to overflow, what you need to do is to start having less. Only when you have less will it stop overflowing. Are you with me? It's a dirty trick to make you weak and useless. Yes? Oh, don't work so hard. What do you mean work hard? You mean that I'm weak, so it's hard for me. You understand? If I'm not weak, it's not hard for me. Only if I'm weak, the work is hard for me. Can you see the idea? This is really, really, really tricky what they're doing. When someone says, oh, you need to take a vacation. Whoa. Someone tell you need to take a vacation, you actually need to realize this guy, not good for you. You don't need to take a vacation. You need to increase the size of the problem. Most people, what they do, they say, okay, this is me, and this is a problem. And they see a problem and they say, whoa, this is a big problem. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to make it a smaller problem. And now you made the problem smaller. So really it's a smaller problem, okay? And very quickly you find that you need to make it even smaller. And so you make this problem smaller, and very quickly you find that you need to make it even smaller. And every time you make the problem smaller, you make yourself smaller, because you become less and less and less powerful. So when someone tells you you work too hard, what he means is that you're not powerful, because for a powerful person, there's no such thing as too hard. Are you with me? It's really important to understand. The way to handle a problem is to get a bigger problem. The way to handle the exhaustion is to work harder. The way to handle lack of time is to do more. The way to handle worry is to jump. Yes, thank you, Emmanuel. Are you with me? You see what basically they tell you like that. They tell you, look, I'm going to install here, this is you, and I'm going to install a consideration that something is a problem. So now once I install this consideration, the consideration become very important for you, and the spirit intention become very small. The stronger the consideration, the smaller the intention. Are you with me? Smaller the stronger the consideration, the more you think something is dangerous, the less power you have. Do you understand that concept? Yes, you do. Excellent. Why jump? Because if you've been worried about can I do bungee jumping or not, you will stay with this question forever, and it will make you weak and useless. But if you will decide, okay, fine, I'm going to jump, and the maximum that can happen, I'll die, but at least I close this cycle of action. I know what it is. then you will improve. And I will explain it a little bit more here. You'll see that when you have a target, if this is your target, or most people behave in the following way. This is a person, and he has feelings, and he has likes and dislikes, and he has fears. And all those things that he has dictate to him what he will do, which means he does not decide what he will do. So far, so good. Do you understand this? Now, the end result of that is a useless life because you don't go anywhere that you want. The correct way is to say, okay, this is the target. This is what I need to do. I need to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I, the spirit, going to fall in love with those things. I will love this feeling. If the feeling is stink, oh, I love this stink. If the feeling is pain, I'm going to love pain. If the feeling is to be hungry, I love being hungry. If the target requires being hungry, let's say I want to lose weight, and the target requires that I need to be hungry, I'm falling in love with being hungry. So it's not that the feeling define my actions. The target define my action, and I adjust my feeling to what is needed. So I adjusted that I will love the needed feeling. Do you understand the concept? Most people operate on their feelings. Most people operate on their feeling. They say, oh, I'm feeling tired. So, well, okay, so if I'm feeling tired, I'm not going to do the work. Powerful people operate on what's the target. If I have a target to send something tomorrow, and and what I need to do is to work through the feeling tired. I love working through the feeling tired. The best thing that happened to me is when I work under the feeling of I'm tired. That should be the viewpoint. Thank you, Bridget. Do you understand? It's totally different way of operation. The one is total effect of my feelings, and the other is I'm totally cause. I'm causing my own feeling. I know that this is what I need to do. I love it. And if this thing bring about a feeling of pain, let's say I want to grow my muscles, and I know that that's bring about a feeling of pain in my muscles. So I love the pain. I'm not the effect of, oh, the body has pain and I don't like pain, or it's tiring, or it doesn't smell good, or no, I do what needs to be done and I fall in love with it. Are you with me? Useless people operate on what they feel. Powerful people operate on what's needed, and they fall in love with what's needed. It's the best thing that happened to them. This is 100% game changer, yes. It's really different viewpoint. If you cannot operate like that, you will not succeed in life because your considerations, it's too stinky, it's too big, it's too small, it's too dangerous. All those considerations will be very solid and you will become very weak. Yes. Good. Excellent. So the stronger the consideration you have, the more unchangeable the consideration is, the weaker you are. The consideration should be something like, oh, I don't like stink right now. Well, oh, what it requires that I will clean this old guy poo? No problem. I love the stink. Smells the best. just a consideration. And so nothing will stop you. Nothing will stop you. Nothing. But if, oh, I'm working too hard, most of those people that telling me I'm working too hard, when you investigate what they do, they click and double click. That's what hard. Seriously? This is working hard? But I'm working 10 hours per day. So why are you not working? Why are you on holiday? I work 20 hours per day every day. My fermentation really smell bad before bottling, but that doesn't stop me fermenting cheese. Yes, I can still smell. Yes, it's very good. You are too naive. You're never too naive. You're never too naive. What does it mean to be naive? It means to have the viewpoint of everyone is good. And guess what? You find only what you are looking for. You find only what you are looking for. If you are not naive, you will look for bad people and you will have endless amount of bad people in your life. Yeah, you never work too hard, ever. You see, since you find only what you are looking for, only, not some, only what you are looking for, when someone convinces you that you are too naive, what they're actually trying to tell you is, look, you need to start to find bad people so you will get hurt. Do you agree that children are more naive than adults? Do you agree with that? Now, if I take an adult and throw him at an empty street, no one will look at him. He will be homeless and no one will really help him. But take a child and throw him in an empty street. 50,000 people will come and help him and feed him and dress him and buy him toys and give him the best time of his life. True or false? True, yes. Why? Because he's naive. Because he is looking only for good. It is when you start to look for bad that bad hit you. Are you with me? You find, the law is you find only what you are looking for. Only. You give too much. Who gives too much? Those that don't have. But if you have, let's say I have $10 billion and I donated $1 million and someone come to me and say, you give too much. Is it really too much? No, he just tried to convince me that I am weak. You'll see that every time someone can convince you that you gave too much to someone, after that, once you're convinced that you gave too much, you become weak and less able. Just look at your life and you'll see it's true. This is amazing, yes. Every time you got convinced that you gave too much, what happened? You become weak. Immediately after that, weak and less able. But you need to really look at your life and you will see that just before you lost money or just before you lost loved one or just before you lost, before that, someone convinced you that you gave too much. Yes? Yes. Tell me I should stop giving so much. No, you should give a lot. You should give a lot all the time, and you should make sure that they exchange. But you should give. Never stop giving. Are you with me? I do see it in parts in my life where I give too much. Yes, if you feel that you give too much, you will lose after that. You will lose the ability to create more money. If you feel you gave too much, you will lose your ability to have money. It is magic. You really, if you look, you see the first time you started to have money is because someone convinced you that you gave too much. Too much mean I cannot make it. You gave too much mean I have too little. Imagine you have $1 billion and you gave 1 cent. You cannot be convinced that you gave too much. True or false? But if you gave $100, you still, if you have $1 billion, you cannot be convinced. There will be a point where you gave and it is you can be convinced that you gave too much, because that point is the point where you will be 100% sure, you will get convinced that it's difficult to remake this money. So this money that you gave become valuable. And if you let it go, your life changes. At that moment, you'll start to make money again. Are you with me? The reason people that lost money never make, or takes them years if they ever make money again, is because it takes them 10 to 12 years to be re-convinced that they actually are still able to create money. If you've been convinced that you lost, which means you gave too much, that's what it means, loss. If you've been convinced that you lost, at that moment, there is no future for you unless if you manage to realize what actually happened and recover this thing of, it's not a problem. Once you close that cycle, once you close this consideration, money will start to come to you. It's like will run after you. Fascinating how that works. The same principle applied to by investing in seminars and webinars. When I started to doubt if I could afford it, my income dropped 100%. Well, of course I can afford it when I produce more. It is the best investment with ROI for eternity. 100 million%. The best investment is investment in you. So if a friend tells me to stop giving so much help for free, does that also fall under this? If your friends tell you to give much more help, but make sure that you get exchange for it, that's good. But to stop giving help for free, it's still a stop. You see, even if you fight against an enemy, you should put not more than 2 to 3% effort on stopping and 97% on creation. Are you with me? This is really fascinating. Once you finally realize that once you've been convinced that you're too good, that you're too naive, that you're too generous, that you're too soft, you're too blah, 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 actually what you are being convinced that you are weak. And weak people do not succeed because this is a very tough universe and even the lions have hard time. Meir, is dropping pearls from the start? Yes, thank you. Extremely powerful. I realize that I can always create more. Yes, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Meir, for reminding me of this. Yes. The only thing that stops you from actually being willing to demonstrate your abilities is someone convinced you that you cannot. How they convince you that you cannot? They cannot tell a giant that he's weak, but they can tell a giant that he gives too much of his power. So then he will stop giving too much of his power, and so he will become weak. Are you with me? You cannot convince a billionaire that he gives too much. Yes? But you cannot convince a billionaire that he doesn't have enough money, but you can convince him that he gave too much. And if he was actually convinced that he gave too much, He will stop giving, and by that, because he will decide it's too much, which means I don't have enough, and at that moment, he will start losing money. He will be unwilling to demonstrate his ability of creating money. And I've recovered more people with this principle than you can imagine. More people has been recovered just by understanding this principle on financial lines than you can imagine. How much money you can make? As much as you are willing to give. How much data you can assimilate? As much as you are willing to participate. The same principle. You're welcome. This is really unbelievable. This principle is so wide, so powerful, so all-embracing that you will see that it applies to any area of your life. Are you with me? They basically tell you, you give, 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 and the other person don't give enough. It's not really what you should worry about. What you should give, 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 and make sure that the other person exchange with you. But you should never stop giving. The snake tried to convince you to give less or be less. Less what? Thank you, Kamal. Thank you. Well, it's also you as an example. Less good, less helping. Exactly. Exactly. They try to convince you less love, less patient, less generous, less understanding, less of a friend, less contributing, less valuable, less. And in this universe, anything that doesn't grow, shrink. If you love your children less today than yesterday, you have a problem. If you are less patient today than what you've been yesterday, you have a major problem. If you are less generous today than what you have been yesterday, you have a major problem. If you are less understanding today, if you just had the consideration, oh, these guys are stupid, all the Jewish people are stupid, or all the Jewish people, even if you say all the Jewish people are geniuses, you have a problem. Why? Because if you are stuck, it cannot grow. Are you with me? Less understanding. Oh, these guys are really bad. I don't understand them. All the black guys are this. All the white guys are that. All the Palestinians are that. All the Christians are that. This is less understanding. It is less life. He convinced you incorrectly. Less of a friend. Oh, don't be such a fool. Yes? So even thought of thinking less of others affect you 100%. Even thought, because it's the consideration that is the problem. It's the consideration, because when the consideration is strong, your causation is weak. What spiritual law does be less violent? So what happened is that the spirit is the thing that knows that, and the thing that brings something out of nothing. If I convince you to give less, I convince you basically that you cannot bring something out of nothing. You have shortage. If I convince you to give less, is only because you have shortage. Otherwise, you wouldn't care. Did you see anyone that's saying, hey, you need to breathe less? No, because there's ample amount of air. Only when there is a problem with water, people start to say, hey, you need to drink less. Don't wash. Are you with me? The spirit is the thing that brings something out of nothing. So what actually happened is the snake is trying to make you small while camouflaging it with I care about you. They don't care about you when they tell you you need a holiday. They don't. They're worried about you being powerful. A person that care about you will say, do more, produce more, become better athlete, become better person, help more, give more, be more expensive, be more certain, be more cocky, and make sure that you're making everyone else to be at least as cocky as you. Be more, not less. Are you with me? Someone that tell you, well, you know, you are so full with yourself. Of course, I know. Of course, I will be full with myself. But you know what? I allow you to be as full with yourself. Because otherwise, I'm not actually full with myself. I'm just trying to make other people wrong. Are you with me? If you are really, really understanding that, you will spot the snake. The snake will try to make you less. He will try to explain to you how you are not as smart, you are not as this, you are not as that. And if you think about people like that, you have been bitten by the snake with the disease, with the venom of exploitation. Can it sometimes not be fake reality of someone who think he is helping by telling you you need a holiday or do less? Maybe they do care, they just don't know. Even if they're doing it out of stupidity, if you don't understand that this is a damaging thing, someone can stab you by mistake, it's still going to hurt. Are you with me? So even if they do it by mistake, but usually they don't, you still need to be aware this is a snake trying to bite you. Teresa, thank you. That already showed they are not a supportive person. Yes. So you really need to understand that those people that tell you be careful, it's dangerous, it's this, it's that, they are not your friend. These people that tell you, okay, the only handling for danger is not to protect, is to become powerful. The only handling for no money is not to save or to cut expenses, is to make more money. The only handling for handling attacks, for handling a suppression, is to become successful. It's not to become smaller in the name of success, because it's insane. It's totally insane. The only way forward is to become more powerful, not smaller. Are you with me? You need to think big, you need to do big, you need to have big, and you need to demand from everyone else to think big and do big and have big. The snake wants you to be less loving, less patient, less generous, less understanding, less of a friend, less contributing, less valuable, less. So what must happen for you to be convinced to give less? What must happen for you to be convinced to give less? What's the prerequisite for you to be convinced, okay, I have to give less. I'm a sucker. To commit a sin, the snake must bite you, yes. Past hurt, doubting what? Become the effect of the snake. I agree, I can be not powerful, okay. Trust the other person to ask to give less, yes. Give up your decision to be source, yes. Bitten by the snake's venom, yes. Doubting his ability, feel like a failure. You are harming others. Very, very good. So for you to be convinced to give less, you first must be convinced you cannot create enough. You with me? If you had 50 bodies, if you have 50 bodies standing by, so if this body, something happened to it, you could replace the body. You wouldn't worry about bungee jumping or doing any crazy things, yes? So before the body becomes valuable, before you are convincing to give less of your body, which means to be careful, you first must be convinced there is shortage of bodies. Are you with me? You'll see that you're giving less only those things that you consider you cannot create enough of. If you can create enough money, let's say that you have a printing machine of money, then, and money, it's not a problem. So you will instinctively want to give, and you will instinctively demand exchange. And if you didn't demand exchange, it's not a big problem. It's the problem for the other person, not for you. He took it without an exchange. Are you with me? Can you see that? For you to be convinced to give less, you must first be convinced you cannot create enough. This is unbelievable. Once you are convinced you cannot create enough, then you will not have enough, because of course the consideration is stronger than your intention. And your intention is the only thing that actually bring about anything, because intention is cause. Everyone with me? So any person that tells you that you are not as powerful, you are not as smart, you need to be careful, you need to think. Oh, you need to think about it. No, you don't need to think about it. You need to know. Oh, you need to be slower. You need to be much slower. You are rushing in. No, I'm not rushing in. I just know. And what if you lose? Then I will lose. What's the problem? I made it. I can make it another 50 times. But but I can tell you for sure that if you are worried about losing, you're for sure going to lose. If you are worried about not being able to pay your bills, you are for sure not going to pay your bill, regardless of how many opportunities you will have right in front of you. Constant pounding by others can put you in doubt. Yes, you can fall into doubt if you don't understand this data. But once you understand this data, you know what they're doing, and you become cause over them, so you can actually handle them. Someone can come to me and tell me, you know, you work too hard. What do you think will happen? 2.5 minutes later, he would work harder than me. Why? Because I understand the data. I'm totally sure. I'm 100% certain. This is what's true, and I'm going to help him. How? Get his ass into gear. Get him to work very, very hard. After all, production is the basis of morale. So I want him to be happy. So of course I would need to get him to work hard. Production is the basis of morale, not worry, not resting, not watching Netflix. Production is the basis of morale. You are as happy as you are productive. You are not as happy as you watch Netflix. It's like I'm convinced that I can't give a lot of my time to people, whereas it is because I'm convinced that I can create time 100%. Time is never a problem. Time is never a problem. Time is just a consideration. That's all it is. Just a consideration. Okay. I want to talk to you about the extreme wisdom. Who knows anything about the extreme wisdom? Who knows anything about the extreme wisdom? Yes? I want to tell you a little bit about the extreme wisdom. Generally, I will explain it to you through a presentation, and I have a ready presentation to explain to you about the extreme wisdom. But I want to actually have a different view on the extreme wisdom and explain to you really what it is all about, okay? So basically, life always bombard you with you are not good enough. You're not good enough. If you want milk, you need to go to the refrigerator, which means you are not good enough. Your body get older, which means you are not good enough. Your wife, you and your wife relationship usually deteriorate at in one level or another, and sometimes they deteriorate and you don't even realize it, which means you are not good enough in relationships. Your assets require more and more maintenance, more than you make, which means you are not good enough. Your memory become weaker, which means you are not good enough. Your children continuously become that younger, they are more aware, and they want to take over, which means you are not good enough. So everything around tells you that you are not good enough. True or false? If you look around, you'll see that everything around tells you you are not good enough. To explain, well, if you're getting older, what does it mean? I'm not good enough, yes? Kamal, is that make sense or not? If you don't make enough money, if you don't make profit, what does it mean? I'm not good enough. If you can get sick, it means I'm not good enough to handle the environment. Are you with me or not? Come on. True. There are many people, government sources, and internet articles that outline that the shortage of job exists and that people should be content with lower salaries. Yes, it's everything try to convince you you are not good enough. This is really unbelievable. If you look at that, you will see. Actually, you will see that just even the number of cycles that you have to handle or the number of cycles that you are not completing tells you you are not good enough to handle all the cycles that need to be handled. It's always there. You are not good enough. There is a continuous pounding that says you are not good enough. Now, what does it mean you are not good enough? It means that you're not controlling the environment. True or false? The environment controls you. You are not the boss. You are not the boss. It's something that's senior to you. Well, the only way that you will succeed is you need to become senior to the environment. Now, of course, you can go and study all kind of courses and progress, and it will help you. It's definitely help you. But what I wanted to do, I wanted to create something that will be an immediate, instant help on different subjects for anyone, new, existing client, old client, people that know a lot, people that know little. I want to get to a position where I look at each area of your life. Let's say your life is composed of each of 8 areas. I want to look at each area of your life, and instead of you reading all the books, I want you to get one very, very short filtered data that it's only the data that you need to resolve the problem on this area of your life, on this dynamic, and then give you the exact data that you need in order to resolve problems and expand this dynamic, and then exact data that you need to resolve and expand this dynamic. And I want to do that in the way that every week I will give you a series of, or every month I'll give you a series of talks of between 1.5 hours, short talks, simple, but super powerful, that will change your life, that will totally take you and handle each part of your life on an instant basis. So the idea is by the end of each seminar, each webinar, you need to have a major change. Something has to improve in your life. Something major has to improve in your life. And to do that, it is something, because there is so much nonsense going on, because there is so many people that trying to bite you, and because this universe is really a very rough universe, is very unforgiving, it's designed to make you wrong, it's designed to kill you. This universe designed to kill you. You have to understand, that's the game. The universe it's designed to kill you, and you are designed to be alive. Well, because of that fight, and because the universe is telling you continuously that the consideration of that universe is more important than your own consideration, and because you've been doing it for billions of years without any data, if you will not handle it, your life will continue to deteriorate. If you look at your life right now, you'll see that there is at least 1 or 2 areas in your life that actually deteriorate. It can be income, it can be relationship with your wife, with your children, with your body. It can be diseases, it can be worries, it can be emotions. Of course, it can be financial. It can be many different areas that deteriorating. And if those areas that are deteriorating will not be handled, the rest of the areas will deteriorate. Why? Because deterioration is contagious. When the house starts to fall down in one place, other places will start to fall down. It's just a matter of time because it's contagious, okay? So I'm putting together something that's called Extreme Wisdom. Extreme Wisdom is a series of weekly seminars. Every week there will be a different seminar on a different subject. And these seminars basically will be between 1 and 2 hours. And each of them will give you a very specific data. And each class will have 2 replays. So let me give you just more data on that. Each class will have 2 replays in the following week. So we're doing a class today, and the following week you'll have 2 replays. And each class will design to handle a specific area. It is like a bypass on all the problems of the universe. And it's designed to get you to a point where you actually starting to improve, so you can make enough money, so you can have enough attention unit, so you can have enough happiness, so you can bring an improvement in your life. And later on, you can do the more advanced courses. So who is it designed for? Any person that wants to improve his life. I promise you, it's going to be unbelievable. Yesterday, who've been on the business class yesterday? Tell me who've been on the business class yesterday? Me. How was it? Those that been there, how was it? Best class ever. Wow, amazing, excellent. Yes, I want to tell you that this part, wow, at the 10 of power. Yes, excellent. Yes, beyond phenomenal. Okay, so I want to tell you that this class that I delivered yesterday was actually, you saw that the whole design, everything is different than the usual business class, because it was actually designed to be run as part of the extreme wisdom. But as I was writing it, I realized, well, that's too good to not give it to my business class clients. Are you with me? It is going to be simple, powerful, life-changing. And if you were like for years trying to decide which course am I doing, where should I invest, this is what you should invest in. If you have friends, new friends that you always wanted them to get this data, this is where you should invest in. You should invite them to this class. If you ever thought about buying a class to a friend of yours or to your child or to your family, this is the series that you want. How much it costs? There's few options. Option number one, that you do monthly subscription, which is $447, which means it's more or less $100 per class. So you pay $100 per class and the return is $100,000. And when I said the return is $100,000, it's not necessarily that you'll get $100,000 per cash, but your improvement in your life will equal to more than $100,000. And I'm not just saying it. It's not because I'm thinking, oh, well, this is just marketing. If you've been in yesterday business class, you know that the return on yesterday's business class is much more than $100,000. Are you with me? Thank you, Bridget. Yes, yes, Bridget, you doubled my income. Well, you doubled your income a few times since we started. Yes, amazing. Now there is another option. There's another option, which is the annual subscription. Annual subscription. It is 2850, which is about $55 per class. If you are on the VIP or the inner circle, you'll have a discount on that. Yes, so an inner circle have 35% discount, and the VIP have 10% discount. But it's really like almost nothing. Yes. Does everyone see the screen or not? No, not seeing. You don't see the screen. I can see. You should be able to see the screen now. Okay. Okay, excellent. Now, whoever registered within the next 24 hours for the full subscription, for the full annual subscription, will get a credit of $199 in the store. So you get a full store-wide credit. You can buy anything that you want, and you'll get 199 credit, which means if you bought something that cost, I don't know, $180, you get it for free. If you got something that cost $400, you will pay only $200, okay? What you need to do is to go to gprosperity.com/extreme, and you will see that the offer, I suggest that you'll buy it. I'm planning to start it probably within a week or two. What is the guarantee? If at the end of a class, any class, you must attend the full class. You cannot just say, oh, I just don't want to be there. You must attend. You feel you did not get the value you expected for that class, ask for a refund at the end of the class, not a week later. And you will get your full money back for that specific class, no question asked. So if you think there is a specific class that you did not enjoy, that was not as powerful, you've done 5 classes that were amazing, and the 6th class, not as good, ask for money back and you will get the $55 back for the cost of the class. If the next class you feel is not so good, you get the $55 back. Are you with me? So you have basically zero risk. You have no risk, because if it doesn't work for you, you get a refund, and you got the data, by the way. Now, you know me for long enough to know that nothing that I teach is not powerful. If anything, it is too powerful. So you really don't have any risk. The only risk that you do have is not to do that. The only risk that you do have is not to do that, because you'll see that you will have, you'll invest money into all kind of nonsense and you will not bring results. Where if you would invest with me when I told you you need to do this class, you will have the results. So this specific class is designed for those that want instant result, those that don't have time now to wait for 3 years, those that cannot now go and study marketing and the sales and the spirituality and relationship and this and this and that. If you don't have the time because your current situation is pressing, this is what you need to do. Okay. Any questions? Any questions? Nope. Okay. What is off? Was this offered before? It was offered before at a lower price, yes. Before I went to Canada, it was offered before and it was a little bit lower price. Yes. Margaret, I don't know if you signed up, but we can check it. I can write it to you. Baya said you did, so Baya knows. Smart woman, Margaret. Okay, so this is the extreme wisdom. This is all for today. Enjoy your weekend. Be productive. The joy comes from production, not from sitting and drinking and doing nothing. Be productive. And I will see you next week with the continuation on the Advanced Family Academy. Thank you for Karen for helping with the administration. Thank you for Gali for helping with everything and more. I love you. Thank you for participating and being there. And I will see you next week. Bye-bye.